Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Grayson Chrisley puts Savannah's immaturity on blast. Grayson Chrisley has put Savannah Chrisley's immaturity on blast. He did not hold back when it came to calling out his family's worst trait. However, Savannah did not seem to care too much when he said this. Grayson is always open and honest. He is also figuring out the difficulties of adulthood now that he is in college. There is a lot to unfold and uncover. Keep reading to find out more about this situation and what he had to say about Savannah. Grayson Chrisley started college at the University of Alabama. However, he has been trying to figure out adulthood the best he can. Grayson revealed that he would ask his parents to buy him stuff. However, they would tell him to use his own card. Grayson clapped back with how he wouldn't ask in the first place if he was just going to use his own card. Savannah had a laugh about this and loved that he was figuring out adulthood this way. She knows it is not easy. But she knows that Grayson will do great and succeed at anything he puts his mind to. Fans love that he is taking this next step in life. Grayson Chrisley puts Savannah's immaturity on blast. Grayson Chrisley did not hold back when it came to calling out Savannah's immature trait that she has. When talking about hard situations, Grayson applauded himself for being able to stay calm and figure out a solution to a problem. Savannah admitted that she wishes she were more like Grayson in that aspect. Savannah admitted that she always figures it out, but she does lose her lid sometimes. Grayson is really mature in the way he can look at things like this. It seems as though Grayson appreciates that he can take a moment and think about a solution to a situation. However, he knows that Savannah is emotionally driven and had to call her out about it. However, he likes that he can be different than his family in that aspect. Savannah did not seem to care too much that he said this. The Chrisley family has never been one to shy away from drama. But this time it isn't Todd or Julie lighting up headlines. It's the youngest son, Grayson. Long painted as the quieter sibling, the one who often rolled his eyes while his family's theatrics played out for reality TV cameras, Grayson has stepped into his own voice, and lately that voice has been directed squarely at his sister Savannah. To the outside world, Savannah Chrisley has always been the golden girl of the family, beauty queen, pageant darling, fashion entrepreneur, and the one who seemed to thrive in front of the cameras. But according to Grayson, the polished image doesn't tell the whole story. She acts like she's the mom of the family now, Grayson reportedly said to a close friend. But half the time she's just winging it. And when you're taking care of us, winging it isn't enough. A brother's breaking point. For the past year, Savannah has taken on the role of guardian to both Grayson and her niece Chloe while their parents serve their prison sentences. On social media, she has portrayed herself as strong, resilient, and committed to her family. She's posted inspirational messages, late-night videos about her struggles, and heartfelt words about shouldering responsibility. But in private, Grayson has felt the cracks. At 18, Grayson is no longer a child. He's old enough to see through the motivational speeches and Instagram filters. It's like she's more concerned about how she looks while doing all this than actually doing it. He allegedly told another confidant. His frustration stems not only from her parenting style, but also from what he calls her performative maturity. When the cameras are around, or when she's recording for her podcast, she's irresponsible, Grayson vented. But the minute that's over, she's yelling at me for leaving socks on the floor like she's some perfect angel. She forgets that I know her. Roles. I live with her. What makes this sibling dynamic even more complicated is the blurred line between sister and substitute parent. Savannah, only in her mid-20s, never planned to step into a maternal role so soon. Grayson, meanwhile, resents having his sister telling him what to do while simultaneously watching her make questionable choices. She's always late. She leaves dishes in the sink. She forgets to pay bills sometimes and then blames me when something goes wrong. Grayson complained during a recent heated exchange that a family friend overheard. She wants to call me immature, fine. I'm a teenager. But what's her excuse? It's a point that resonates with many. Savannah is trying to juggle adulthood, guardianship, and her own personal struggles, but Grayson doesn't think she should get a free pass just because the situation is difficult. Social media. The battlefield. As always with the Chrisleys, the battlefield extends beyond the home and into the digital world. Fans have noticed subtle shade from Grayson in recent months. Though less active than his sister, when he does post, his captions often carry undertones that seem aimed at Savannah. One cryptic post from earlier this summer read, "Funny how people love to play grown-up until real responsibility knocks on their door." Followers immediately speculated he was referencing Savannah, especially after she uploaded an emotional video days earlier about being the glue holding the family together. Grayson hasn't directly named her online, but those who know him say he doesn't have to. His body language, his comments, and his absence from her more staged family photos all tell the story. The podcast pressure. Another sore spot? Savannah's podcast, Unlocked. On it, she has repeatedly spoken about her struggles raising Grayson, often framing him as the typical teenage boy who makes her life difficult. To her, this seems like lighthearted honesty, but to Grayson, it feels like betrayal. He doesn't like that she airs their dirty laundry, a family insider revealed. He feels like she's always talking about him like he's some project she's trying to fix instead of her brother. He's embarrassed by it. Grayson reportedly confronted Savannah about it after an episode where she joked that she was basically raising two kids who both have attitudes. Chloe, of course, is a child, but Grayson wasn't amused at being lumped into the same category. "Stop calling me a kid," he allegedly snapped during the confrontation. "You're not mom. You're not dad. You're barely holding yourself together, and you're gonna sit there and call me immature." The root of the resentment. Digging deeper, it's clear Grayson's frustration is about more than Savannah's quirks. It's about the loss of their parents. With Todd and Julie behind bars, both kids have been forced into roles they never asked for. Grayson has had to grow up faster, and Savannah has had to shoulder responsibilities she wasn't ready for. But instead of pulling them closer, it's created a wedge. Savannah thinks she has to prove to the world that she's strong, a close source explained. Grayson just wants her to admit she's overwhelmed, to be real with him instead of pretending everything's fine. He'd probably cut her some slack if she was just honest. But the act? He can't stand the act. Fans take sides. As news of the sibling tension spreads, fans are divided. Some sympathize with Savannah, pointing out that she's young, grieving, and doing the best she can in impossible circumstances. Others, however, side with Grayson, agreeing that Savannah sometimes appears more interested in her image than in the realities of day-to-day life. One fan commented on a Reddit thread, "Savannah's trying, but she really does seem immature for someone in her mid-20s. She always makes everything about her. I don't blame Grayson for being annoyed." Another pushed back, "He's just a teenager rebelling. She stepped up when no one else would. Give her a break." The road ahead. For now, the sibling rivalry shows no signs of slowing. Sources say Grayson is becoming more independent, often spending time with friends or extended family instead of staying under Savannah's wing. Meanwhile, Savannah continues to post about her journey as caregiver, unbothered, or perhaps pretending to be unbothered, by her brother's digs. But behind the headlines and the social media drama, there's a very real story of two siblings trying to navigate a situation far bigger than themselves. Grayson may call out Savannah's immaturity, and Savannah may insist she's doing her best. But at the heart of it is a pair of young adults struggling through pain, pressure, and the burden of living life under a microscope.